So hello everyone, in the last class we have derived the chassis equation, right? Today we will derive the another equations which are the main reason for the major loss, right? Yesterday I have told what are the major losses and what are the types of minor losses. So under major losses, the main reason of the major losses is due to the friction, and that particular value, that means the head loss, you can say the value of HF, that HF value can be determined by using either by chassis equation or by Darcy-Weisbach equation that we are going to derive today. Okay, so let us start the Darcy-Weisbach equation. Okay, so before viewing this particular lecture, if you can watch the derivation of the chassis equation, that will be very beneficial for all of you because it is something related to that chassis equation. Okay, so I am going to give you some small hint what is the difference between the laminar flow and the turbulent flow. Look, how can we differentiate this? In the previous lecture I have already told, but yeah, this is very much important. By using the Reynolds number that is denoted by RE, we can differentiate that whether it is a turbulent flow or laminar flow. Okay, and this Darcy-Weisbach equation is valid for both laminar as well as the turbulent, but in majority we generally use in case of turbulent flow. Now if the Reynolds number is greater than 2000, then it will be termed as a turbulent flow, right? And what is Reynolds number? It is basically the ratio of the inertia force by the viscous force, and which is given by rho Vd by mu. Okay, so these are the previous things I have already told. Now just start the derivation of the Darcy-Weisbach equation. So as you know, the chapter, this is actually flowing through the pipes. Okay, so let's draw a image of a pipe. So consider this is the pipe and fluid is flow inside this. Okay, now what we can do is we likewise we have done in case of chassis equation, we consider two section on the pipe, right? So here similarly we will consider, two section, 1 and 2 and the distance between these two section is L, and consider at this section 1 the pressure is P1, the velocity is V1, and the datum head means, and the datum head, consider this is the datum and this is the datum head. So at section 1 the datum head is Z1, and at section 2 the datum head is Z2, and the pressure value, that means here at the section 2 it is P2 and the velocity is V2. Okay, now we are going to apply the Bernoulli's principle, but before that we need to see what are the assumptions in case of Darcy-Weisbach equation. Likewise we have done in case of chassis equation. So what are the assumptions? That is very much important. The first assumption is, in case of Darcy-Weisbach equation, the frictional resistance force, if it is denoted by capital F, frictional resistance force, if it is denoted by capital F, so the first assumption is F is proportional to V to the power n. Okay, where V is the mean velocity and the range of n is 1.5 to 2. Okay, generally we consider it is 2. Okay, so F is proportional to V square. Now the second assumption in the Darcy's-Weisbach equation is the F, that means the frictional resistance force, is proportional to the density of the fluid. Density means the rho. So consider the density of the fluid over here is rho. So if the rho value changes, the frictional resistance force will be also changed. Okay. Now the third assumption here, that this F value, that means the frictional resistance force, is proportional to the area of surface in contact. That means here you can see the water is having a contact with the pipe surface, right? So this frictional resistance force is directly proportional to the area of surface in contact. So F is directly proportional to the area of surface in contact. Area of surface in contact. Okay. Now the fourth assumption in Darcy's-Weisbach equation is the frictional resistance force is independent of pressure. Very important point. The frictional resistance force is independent of pressure. Okay, and the last point, that is that means the last assumption here in Darcy's-Weisbach equation is the F value, that means the frictional resistance force. F, that means the frictional resistance force, is depends on the nature of surface in contact. It depends on the nature of, it depends on the nature of surface in contact. Okay, so now I am applying the Bernoulli's principle. So if we apply, what we can write considering the section 1 and section 2. So P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1 is the datum head, is the pressure head, this is the velocity head, and these are datum head, equals to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2 plus HF. So this is the head loss, right? Now this particular value we need to determine, and why this head loss is there? Because this fluid that we are considering here, that is the real one. Okay, that is the real one. It is not ideal. If this is ideal, then there will be no losses. So if so we need to determine the value of this HF. Okay, now as we know that it is actually a pipe section, so the area at section 1-1 and the area at section 2-2 is definitely equal. That means if we consider here it is A1 and if it is here A2, so definitely A1 is equals to A2, right? And as per the continuity equation, what we know is A1 V1 equals to A2 V2, right? Q equals to A1 V1 equals to A2 V2. So if the A1 is equals to A2, definitely V1 is also equals to V2, then only this equation will be satisfied, right? So if the V1 is equals to V2, so definitely these two terms will be deducted, right? Also pipe is fully horizontal, so Z1 is also equals to Z2. So that is why Z1 and Z2 will be also deducted. So ultimately what we got, the value of HF that we get, that is P1 minus P2 by rho g. So give it equation number 1. Okay, and also please write the value of F dash, that means what is denoted by F dash, it is the frictional resistance per unit area per unit velocity. It is the frictional resistance per unit area per unit velocity. Okay, now if you see the assumptions over here, so you can write the total resisting force, that means the value of F. You can write that F is equals to F dash, this is F dash into, it is proportional to the V to the power n, as well as it is proportional to the rho, as well as it is proportional to the area of surface in contact. So area of surface in contact means what? So the pipe is basically circular pipe, so this is the circular pipe. So what will be the perimeter? It is 2 pi r. Rather you can write like d into pi, because 2r equals to d, that means the diameter. And if you just multiply with the length of the pipe, it is L. So what will be the total surface area inside the pipe? That will be pi dl, right? Here it is, the length of the pipe is L, so into pi dl into V square. Here you can see it is also proportional to the V square, so it is V square. So this is another equation, give it equation number 2. Okay, so this is equation number 1, HF equals to P1 minus P2 by rho g, and this is equation number 2, that means the frictional resistance force. And definitely this force, this F, is acting in the opposite direction of the flow. Okay, because the fluid here flowing in this particular direction, and this is the in opposite direction. Now when you are applying here the Bernoulli's principle, definitely the flow we are considering here is steady. Steady means, that means the velocity at this particular section, that means 1 1, and any other section, maybe it is 2 2, the velocity is constant, that means there is no changing in velocity. So if there is no change in velocity, that means there is no acceleration, right? That means the local acceleration is 0. So if the local acceleration is 0, that means as per the Newton's law, we know that F equals to mg, right? And g is the gravitational acceleration. Now in our case the local acceleration is 0, so definitely the F is 0. So summation of all the forces in our case is 0. What are the forces which are acting here? Let's see in the diagram. So in our case, at section 1 1, the pressure is P1 and the area is A1. So what will be the force here? That is P1 into A1, and definitely it is positive because it is along the direction of the flowing fluid. Okay, now at the section 2 2, it is acting on the opposite direction, so that is why it is negative, and the value is P2 into A2. And another force, that is this one, that means F, the frictional resistance force, that is also acting on the opposite direction of the flowing fluid, so that is why it is also negative, and the value of F is this one. So let's put all the values. So we can write that P1 A1 minus P2 A2 minus F equals to 0, right? Now we just solve this equation. P1 A1 minus P2 A2 equals to F, right? And we also know that A1 equals to A2, so just consider here A1 equals to A2 equals to A. So we can write here P1 minus P2 equals to F by A. Okay, now give it equation number 3. So now from equation number 3, and equation number 1, here you can see, if we divide the equation number 3 by rho g, if we divide the equation number 3 by rho g, we can get the value of HF. So let's divide. So P1 minus P2 by rho g equals to F by A rho g, and we also know the value of F. The value of F is nothing but this one, right? So let's put the value over here. So that will be F dash pi dl into V square by A rho g, right? And this is, and you know that A is equals to nothing but pi by 4 into d square, right? So you can put over here in place of this A. So if you write over here, what you get, that is F dash into pi dl into V square by pi by 4 into b square rho g. Okay, so here one d and square deducted, pi deducted. So ultimately the value that you get, that is 4 F dash L V square, F dash L V square by rho g d. Okay, and this P1 minus P2 by rho g means what? P1 minus P2 by rho g means it is HF, that means the head loss. So we can write over here HF. So ultimately we get the value of HF, that is 4 F dash L V square by rho g d. Okay. Now we already know that F dash by rho equals to CF by 2, and what is CF? Coefficient of friction. Okay, and rho is, you already know, that is the density of the fluid. And F dash is the frictional resistance per unit area per unit velocity. Now from here, if we compare these two equations, so if we consider this is equation number 4 and this is equation number 5, if we compare this 4 and 5 number equation, we can get the value of HF, that is 4 CF L V square by 2 GD. Okay, and here this term 4 into CF, it is actually denoted by small f, and this small f is nothing but the Darcy's friction factor. Darcy's friction factor. So if we put the value over f here, so the final expression of the Darcy-Weisbach equation that we can get, that is HF equals to FL V square by 2 GD. Okay, so this is the final expression of Darcy-Weisbach equation, and this particular equation is valid for both laminar as well as the turbulent flow. Okay, but yeah, in case of laminar flow, in case of laminar flow, the value of F will be 64 by RE. Okay, where RE is the Reynolds number, you already know, that is equals to rho Vd by mu. This is in place in case of laminar flow. Okay, and if the F value is 64 by Re, then you can determine the value of Cf also, because you know that Cf is equals to F by 4. Now if the F value is 64 by Re, that means 64 by Re by 4, that means it is 16 by Re. Now I am going to giving you a very important information that is apart from your syllabus, but yeah, you should know that for fully developed laminar flow, the equation that we generally consider, that is known as the Hagen-Poiseuille equation, and that is HF equals to 32 mu VL by rho GD. Okay, so for the fully developed laminar flow, we consider generally this particular equation given by the Hagen-Poiseuille, and this is termed as the Hagen-Poiseuille equation. Okay, that means here HF is directly proportional to the mean velocity. Okay, but as per the Darcy-Weisbach equation, the equation that we have derived, what is that equation? HF equals to FL V square by 2GD. So as per this equation, the HF, that means the head loss, is directly proportional to the V square. So the now question is, which equation we should consider at the time of fully developed laminar flow? Look, this equation is also applicable for the laminar flow as well as the turbulent flow, and this Hagen-Poiseuille equation is also applicable for the laminar flow. But here the term, please look here, it is fully developed laminar flow. So on that case, this will be the correct answer. That means the head loss is directly proportional to the velocity. So this is very important thing. Okay, so in next class I will solve some problems related to this, and I will also show the other types of losses and the derivation of those. Okay, thank you.